Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D with the 1969 Lincoln penny. We have President Abraham Lincoln on the front facing to the right. It says "In God We Trust" above him. It says "Liberty" behind him, and then the date is under his chin, and underneath the date will be the mint mark. We also have one of our old pals here, the 1955 Lincoln penny, and we'll talk about why that Lincoln penny is relevant to the 1969 pennies. Let's start with this one right here. This is the Philadelphia mint penny, and you can tell because there's no mint mark here. In 1969, at the Philadelphia Mint, they made 1.14 billion of these. They made a bunch. And so if you're looking for these, they're easy to get, and they're all around, and you can even get them in your change now. But in order to get one that's worth some money, you really have to go up in terms of the mint state level. They have found 17 mint state 67s in this, none higher, and it goes for about $550. If we tip it over, we see that this is the second reverse of the Lincoln penny. The first reverse, of course, was the wheat ears penny, which was from 1909 until 1958. Then in 1959, they came out with this Lincoln Memorial reverse. This is one of the ones with a really, really faint FG on it. Sometimes you can find one with where you really can't even see the FG, and those are great coins, kind of error coins. So look for those. The faint or no FGs on this. This one's not going to be worth anything because it's enough so if you tilt it, you can see it. It says United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum here. Lincoln is way down in there, inside the Lincoln Memorial, sitting in this huge chair in there. And then it says 1 cent. Of course, it's a statue of Lincoln. It says 1 cent at the bottom. No place on the United States coins does it say penny. They also made these at the Denver Mint, and here's one here. Same kind of thing. Same copper, 95% copper, 5% zinc or tin blend. They didn't actually change the blend on this between 1909 and 1981, but in 1982 they came out with a zinc-based coin where the center of the coin now is zinc, and the outside is a copper blend coating. Same thing, says United States of America. You can see there's a much better initials on this one. At the Denver Mint in 1969, they made 4 billion. So 1.1 billion at Philly, 4 billion at Denver. Between the two of them, they made 5 billion. And here's the deal. At the Denver Mint, they've only found 2 so far of an MS67 plus. In other words, out of 4 billion coins, they can't get to the best possible coin, and they're settling right now for the best for that year as a MS67 plus, according to PCGS. They found 2 of them, and those are worth about $8,000 each. And then, of course, there is the San Francisco Mint, and that's the one that I have 3 of, and that's because that's a special coin from 1969. That's the one with the double die obverse. And when we look for these, whatever you can get the S's, make sure you save them out. To San Francisco Mint, they made 544 million of these. That seems like a lot until you compare it to the 4 billion they made at the Denver Mint, almost 100 times as many. At the San Francisco Mint, they found 4 MS68s, and those are worth 500 plus. But the deal for the San Francisco Mint is the double die obverse. And I'm going to kind of flip you over and show you on the PCGS website what the double die obverse looks like. If you're not sure what they mean by a double die, you can just go to the PCGS website, and you can see that I have it up here. It's pcgs.com, and there's all the details. But you can also just put it in as 1969-S 1C double die PCGS, and it'll bring you right to here. And looking at this, it's a little hard to tell right here, but watch this. PCGS has a magnifier thing you can use with your cursor. And look at that. So look at that Liberty there. It's just amazing. And what happens is you have to kind of keep moving your cursor for it to stay up. But that Liberty's doubled all the way through. If we go up to the In God We Trust, look at that doubling of the N, doubling all the way around there. So that's what they mean by a double die. You'll see there's no doubling on this side. No doubling on the date, but that doubling there and that doubling there are so good, and that's why you can see that with your eye on a regular coin. And that's what they're talking about when they talk about the 1969 San Francisco Mint double die. So if you're looking for that double die obverse, what should we look for? Well, let's look down here on the Liberty. And we can't see anything. It won't be on the date. At least I haven't seen any on the date. Nothing on the In God We Trust, but we bought 3 of them just so we could look at all of them. Nothing on there. It's a little funny there, but and it's a little chippy there, but again, it's not a double die. And then on this third one, again, it's the S. Again, no doubling here. So we don't have a really valuable one. But if you do have a really valuable one of them at MS64 Plus that we showed you on the PCGS website sold for around $125,000. The price is higher in a double die for the better double die, not necessarily the higher grade coin. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World. Oh, and why did I want to bring in the 1955? Because the 1955 is the most famous of all the double dies, and that has a double die on the date, and it's very evident on those 1955 double dies. This one doesn't, but this is probably the most famous, but this one here is probably the most expensive. The San Francisco Mint double die from 1969.